So now AI. So AI is something. AI is something. You where you have to create a robot to perform a task like how a human does. So how a machine will do? How an AI, how an artificial intelligence will just think like a man. So to do a specific task. See, the new name that I am introducing you here is task, to perform a specific task. So this AI will make use of this machine learning. Will make use of this machine learning. Machine learning is nothing but to perform a specific task. You have some rules, regulations, and some process that has to be followed to achieve an output. So all this process, rules, regulation, where I have to go, where I have to carry, where I have to keep it down. So let's say if you want to, if you ask your robot to pick a bottle and give it to you, so it has lot of rules like, okay, take two steps straight and then take the water bottle, come back, give it to me, and then wait for my instruction. So this everything, this preparation of task is something this ML will do, which is nothing but machine learning. Machine learning. So the machine will learn the process, the inputs, the rules, whatever you say, it will learn everything and then it will perform the task. So now that is why ML, if you see this diagram, this if you see, this is an AI, this is an AI, and ML is subset of AI. ML is subset of AI. If you observe. So now what is DL, the green line? The DL is again subset of ML. This is DL. DL is nothing but deep learning. So deep learning, it helps you in vision. Like let's say um, you have neurons in your brain. Let's say you have lots and lots of neurons, like they multiply with each other. So when you're performing a task, uh, your brain will ask your body to move. Your brain will ask you to go and do something. So the deep learning concept is nothing but the brain. And inside this deep learning, there are mainly three things. One is artificial neural network, where your brain tells you what to do, whereas the CNN is nothing but convolutional neural network, which is nothing but your eyes. Like let's say the vision, like if you're going straight, something is coming in front of you, so you obviously you will stop. So the same way the machine has to stop. So how it will stop? It will see with his eyes, and then it will process, okay, there is an object in front of me. So this kind of analysis, this kind of vision is being done by the robot. So you have an AI robot, you have an AI robot which has a machine learning tasks inside it, and with the help of deep learning, it is going to perform a task. So now, what is data science now? So I told you, okay, AI is a robot where it tries to learn. So that is why it makes use of machine learning, and to see and to give actions to do everything. It makes use of deep learning. Then what is data science? Data science is nothing but it is the mathematics that we apply. See the beauty, guys. Data science it's a term, but internally it will apply max the mathematical concepts to build your application. See, because we humans understand the natural language, the English, Telugu, whatever your mother tongue is, but whereas machine, the only mother tongue for a machine or a computer or a tab, MacBook, anything, the only machine that can understand it is max, only zeros and ones, 0 comma 1. This only, these are the two numbers that a machine can understand, the original language. So now how do we process these then? Like how do we have this zeros and ones? How do we feed these to the robot? So that is where the data science comes into picture. See, deep learning is a subset of machine learning, which is also a subset of artificial intelligence. Did you guys get this picture? The broader. This is the complete picture of different names that you hear in the market. But down to the core JD of any of these roles, it's this: AI, ML, and deep learning. And data science is a mathematical process that applies to build an AI, to build an ML, to build a deep learning. You need data science, which is you need mathematics, you need probability, you need linear algebra, the 10th and 12th max, the basic core. Okay, so now isn't that interesting, guys? See the beauty now. See, um, what makes this data science is truly fascinating is like it is able, its ability, basically the machine ability to uncover the hidden patterns and insights from vast amount of data. See now, I just told you something called data. Data is nothing but, see, if you go, let's say if you open YouTube, your search history is a data. If you open Twitter, your tweets, the people who are tweeting, the Twitter is lots and lots of data. Your Facebook is your data. So guys, trust me, um, nowadays data is very dangerous. See, if you guys, you must be facing the situation, right? Let's say today you're talking to your friends or something. Okay, let's say you're talking to your friend, you guys are discussing about, let's say, a TV, or let's say Amazon Fire Stick, or let's say shoe, or a shirt, or any brand, anything. I'm damn 100% sure the moment you discuss with your friends, or over the phone, or over face to face, sometime on that day or maybe the next day, when you open your Instagram or Facebook, you will get suggestions to buy those. That's how, that's how the data, that's how the AI is in the present world. It's very dangerous, and your data is the main weapon that AI uses on you. Like, let's say if
Now,
you have
then my yeah, I'd
yeah,
like to add one more my experience. Correct me if I'm wrong. This Google Mini, Amazon have also they have a what is the name? I
Alexa.
think Alexa. Yes.
Yeah, correct.
So that is very dangerous because this when you have this kind of device in your house, actually that thing is always listening yeah, whatever
Yes,
conversation is doing.
yes. I was about to say that. That's why, like, whenever you speak in home about any product, you'll get recommendations in Amazon when you open
Yes.
Amazon app, because Alexa is hearing, the Google Mini is hearing, your WhatsApp chats, everything. Google says it's encrypted, but it's all your data is everywhere. Your personal data, your sometimes you see from a bank, you and your friend, you both will get the same message, because the data has been stolen, the data has been sold to some unknown companies. If you go to a Xerox shop or a scan shop, if you make your Aadhaar card scan, he has a copy, he can sell that to some companies. So there is lots and lots. The data is the major for AI. So with that data, like, what can what can a machine can uncover the truths behind the data? How much recommendations can it give? How much business it will create? How much automation it can do? And let's say, and with that, this data science, it's an intersection of statistics, computer science, and obviously, if you pick a domain expertise, and combining these three with the data that you have, you can create a data driven decisions and predictions which will help a lot. So this is the beauty, this is the interesting part, this dynamic nature. The one that I am saying is like this dynamic nature of this data science, or like, let's say, constantly evolving with new algorithms and techniques. Like, every day some guy from IIT or some guy from the Harvard, like anywhere, like you see, they'll publish a paper on something that they are doing research on it. So this data science is like the dynamically it's evolving. it is evolving in such a way that now it came till GPT 4 plus. When you when you say something, it can create a video out of it, or it can change the voice to a video, it can change the music to a video. You can make your prime minister sing a Telugu song, you can make your prime minister sing an English song, everything. It's all starts from the basic max, guys. To understand, let me tell you this: the basics, the basic max, the basic machine learning concepts are the key to go to that factor. Like you don't know anything, is just rightly go and let's say I want to learn prompt engineering, I want to create those. You cannot. All you can do is by heart the codings and then do it, but you cannot understand the real concepts. So trust me, if you want to be a real data scientist, if you want to be a real prompt engineer, you have to be very very passionate about the data, and you have to be like enthusiastic to learn, because when it comes to Python or when it comes to building a real world applications, it's a matter of 3 to 4 lines of code, that's it. But what happens behind the 3 to 4 lines of code is a 10 pages max answer. The mathematical derivations, the mathematical graphs, there is a lot of analysis that has been done behind those 3 lines of code that you write in real world application tomorrow. This is what makes in AI. Like it's far more dangerous, as Elon Musk says. Um, it's a far more dangerous than what you guys think. But trust me, if you work on this, if you sit on this, people says AI can remove jobs, but if you are the one who is developing in AI, no one can remove your job. That's the beauty of this, guys. So basically, as I said earlier, like as the name suggests, artificial intelligence can be loosely interpreted like to mean incorporating human intelligence to machines, the one that I'm just talking. So whenever a machine completes a task based on set of stipulated rules that solves problems, which we call it as algorithm. The machine learning, the one that is said, like which takes the process, the rules, everything, it has several algorithms inside it. We call it as an intelligent behavior. That is also an artificial intelligence, because machine learning is a subpart of artificial intelligence. So for example, let's say I just gave an example, like let's say such machines can move and manipulate objects, recognize whether someone has raised a hand, or solve other problems. So this kind of, let's say you give an image and detect a face, or you give an image and say like there is a number plate. So these type of uh, object detections, this type of automating the processes, everything artificial intelligence will do. So now, what is machine learning? So I told you, right? Machine learning is a subset of AI. Correct. So now, I'll just give you an example. So let's say you have a data. This is your data. I'm saying just this is a data one, and let's say I'm having one more thing which is called a data two. This is your second data. So now let's come here. This is the text file. This is a CSV file. You have your data. So now in data two, you have all these rows, you have rows, columns. So you have rows and columns, everything. Whereas in data one, it's a Amazon product review or movie review. It's a simple text. It's a simple plain text. Okay, the product is good. The product is bad. This product is good, but for not for use. Like this, you have this data in this. You have here. So if you see, try to answer me in the chat. Um, which one is structured? Data one is structured or data two is structured? One second. I can access to the chat. One second. No, no, one second. Sorry.
I think
Oops.
they can just answer the unmuting their microphone, or
Yeah, yeah,
else
yeah. Guys, can you guys tell me? Okay, I lost it. One second. Let me do it for you again. So this is the data one, and this is a data 2, and this is the text file. This is data 1, and this is data 2. Guys, can you guys give a guess? Which one is structured in this data 1 or data 2? Which one is structured? Just give it a try. Give it a try. Guys,
Data two.
sorry,
Data two.
data 2. Perfect. So, so this is structured, and this is unstructured. So when you have a data like structured or unstructured, if your data is structured, you can machine learning has mainly two types. One is supervised learning, and second one is unsupervised learning. So we will go with supervised learning if and only if your data is structured, and you will go to unsupervised learning if and only if your data is unstructured. So, oops, sorry. So now, what is supervised learning? Supervised learning. It means, see, the name itself says supervised learning. That means it's a structured learning. So that means I am understanding something from this structured data. So let's say I have a data in such a way that, like, say I have let's say house and their prices. Okay, this is my area, and then SFT, and what is the land rate. This is pure structured data. So now when I try to feed this data to my machine, so what it will understand, okay, based on the area, the land rates are varying with respect to SFTs. So it will understand some pattern, and then it will try to next time when you ask in this particular area, if my SFT is this and my land rate is this, what is my total price? If you can ask that, the machine will give you an answer because it is understanding the data. See, here there is something called total price. There is something called total price, let's say. Something called total price, let's say. So now machine will understand, okay, based on these rows, it will tell you what is the total price that it can get. So now what are you predicting here? This is all your predictions. See, previously you have some data, you have some data, you send it to machine. Now your machine understood, okay, this is a pattern. Now you sent a new data asking for a total price. So the machine predicted it, and that prediction is called regression. Regression is nothing but regression is nothing but it's predicting a real number, or a continuous number, or continuous number, or a continuous number. Okay, so now let's say I have another data saying, okay, this is your name and this is your civil score, and these are your loan amount to one, loan amount two, and then we have a data like whether this person eligible or not eligible. So you have a data like this. So now when you feed this data to your machine, it understands based on these things. You guys have said that he is eligible, and based on this data you guys said he is not eligible. So like that your machine understands the pattern inside this data, and then when you give a new line tomorrow, it will tell you whether he is eligible or not eligible. So that means you're predicting 0 or 1. This is called classification. predicting predicting a binary. Like in the real world examples, let's say the spam classification. Like whenever an email enters into your inbox, sometimes some emails directly go to spam because that email, it is being classified as spam, so it went into spam directly, otherwise it will come to your inbox. Or like this loan prediction, sometimes they'll take all your details in an application, and they'll say you're eligible for this much, if you're eligible, you're eligible, if not, you're not eligible. And if you're eligible, they'll give you some amount. That is regression. And the prediction of house prices, all these real world scenarios, this is the beauty, guys. This is the beauty of how you deal with structured data. It is a sub part of machine learning, trust me on this. Sub part of machine learning. So now, what is unsupervised? See, unsupervised, it's again the same. So just you have lots and lots of text data, let's say. You have lots and lots of text data. So unsupervised learning is something, it takes this whole data, and it will group the data. Clustering means, guys, it's basic English. Clustering means grouping. Clustering means grouping. So what does this do? What does it do? It takes this unsupervised data, it will group the data like this. This one big circle became four different circles. So what does this do? In the circle, it will attach all the reviews that are similar. It will attach all the reviews that belongs to another type, and another type. So it will group your data. Now see, this is structured, right? Again, see, now your four rows became for one label, your another four rows became second label, your another four rows become third label, and another four rows become fourth label. So you do grouping. So whenever you have this unstructured data, you do grouping. So now I just told you what is classification, what is regression, what is clustering, but how you will do them? Like let's say there is how you will tell machine to understand the data, how you can make the data available to the machine so that it can classify correctly. And let's say if it classifies, whether it is classified correctly or not, how will you evaluate? There is lot to learn, guys. There is lot to learn. Machine learning is not just a one night journey or it's just a 4 weeks journey. It's like minimum to minimum close to 60 to 70 hours of trying, just a classroom sessions with your effort of close to another 60 to 70 hours. Then only you can become a real data scientist. And the main intention of this ML is to enable machines to learn by themselves using the provided data and make accurate predictions. And if you talk about as I told, ML, it is itself a subset of artificial intelligence. In fact, it's a simple technique just for realizing the AI. So this is what machine learning is. Okay, I guess any questions so far? Or can I proceed further? Uh, are you guys fine? Like you're okay with my pace, and you want me to uh, take a pause and bit slow and then proceed? Just feedback, just any feedback or any comment can help, guys. Just motivation for me actually to teach. Yeah. Guys, you can unmute yourself and then speak.
I think it's fine for me. Uh,
Okay.
anyone, if they feel any, we need to change the tempo or the speed, please.
Yeah, Tanmay, I'm Devashish here. Can you
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
me?
Hi there. Yes, yes, I can hear you, Devashish.
Yes. I had a question. Like you were saying that the text, which is an unstructured or rather not
Yeah,
predictable sort of
yeah,
thing. Okay. And the data too is the structured one. Now,
yeah,
suppose in the text, I had same number of words. I mean, number of words are the same. The length of the statement or the length of the line for each of the rows are the same. So will it be still an unstructured data?
Yes, it will be because it has no label, right? Your text doesn't have any label. It's just a plain reviews. Even if the reviews of 100 lines of the same lines, still you cannot make any, like, you cannot map it to a particular column and then say, boss, this is my data, and then what you wanted to predict, either it is a positive review or a negative,
Okay.
whether it's a, what is happening, sorry, yeah, whether it is a positive, whether it is a positive review or a negative review, or a negative review. So to make use of this, we have to group the unstructured data, so that once the grouping is done, then we can label those, and then it becomes a structured, and then
Okay.
again you can apply the supervised tasks.
Okay. Correct. Thank you.
Thank you, thank
Thank
you. So now, I am just keeping you an example. Let's say here is a table that identifies type of fruit based on its characteristics. Let's say you have a weight, and you have a texture, and you have type of fruit. Let's say 155 and it is a rough, it is an orange. 180 rough, it's an orange. 135 smooth, it's an apple. 110 smooth, it's an apple. Now there is a question. 120, it is smooth, and what is it? Just by seeing this, see, now your mind thinks whenever the texture is rough, it is orange. Whenever the texture is smooth, it is apple. So now if you see the texture is smooth and the weight is like 10 grams lesser, so it should be an apple. Your mind itself it is saying. Why? Because your mind understood. Like, okay, rough orange, smooth apple, smooth apple. So the same way the machine will understand. As you can see on the table, the fruits are differentiated, like basically based on their weights and the texture. So with respect to this data, a machine learning algorithm can be developed to try to identify whether the fruit is orange and or apple. So it's again 0 or 1. 0 means orange, 1 means apple. So your machine will try to predict whether it is a orange or an apple. So when we fed this data to an algorithm, it will learn the differing characteristics between an orange and an apple. So now if we provide the weight and the texture, it will tell, the machine will tell whether it belongs to an apple or whether it's an apple or an orange. So now if you see, I'll give you one more example. Let's say you have a cat, you have a dog. Okay, so let's say you have different pictures of cat, like cat front angle, back angle, side angle, upper angle, different features of cat. Everything you have different images, and only label it is cat. You feed this to a model. The same way you have different images of dogs, different types of dogs, different images of dogs, everything. But at the end of the day, you're saying it's a dog. So when you feed these complete data to a model, so the next time when you give an image, it will see the characters inside the image, and then it will understand, okay, this type of characteristics are there only for dog, hence this image is a dog. It predicts. Machine learning is all about predicting. It predicts in this way. Okay, so that is the reason the data is much more important to train the algorithm and then proceed further. So again, this is what I'm just saying. So deep learning. This is what I just gave an example. So you give different types of images of polar bear or like dog, and then see this or green lines, these orange lines. These are all neurons in our mind. In our brain we have cerebral cortex, and then you have neurons. So the same way deep learning is also having these interconnected neurons. See, each neuron has a significance. This line is we call axon in our mind. We call axon, and this is a neuron. It's a biological interpretation. If I do with this diagram to our human brain, this circle is a neuron, and the interconnection between neurons, it's axons, dendrites. So it's the same human brain, the way it understands, the way it gets it, everything. So that is where, like, when we try to do with respect to brain operations or something like the task that we have to remember, we go for deep learning. See, deep learning algorithms are like information processing patterns found in the human brain. The way we see, like, okay, we realize, right, okay, this is a labor breed, it's a dog. So there are different types of versions. This is a panda, this is a polar bear. So just like we use our brains to identify patterns and classify various types of informations, deep learning algorithms can be taught in the same way to accomplish the same task for machines, for identifying objects, or for identifying a process, or for identifying if the pattern is matching or not, any, for all the things. That's where deep learning comes into picture. So now you understood, right? AI, machine learning, and deep learning, each has its own subparts, each has its own different processes, each has its own type of codes, each has its specific task to do. Combining everything, you have your AI application. Okay. So now, again, as I said, data science. Now, where this data science comes into picture, as I said earlier, data science is a field about the scientific methods and the process and systems to extract knowledge. Like, let's say, from data, you can extract lot of information from data. Let's say, let's say you have a population. You have, let's say, 10 people's name, age, height. Okay, so now you can get information like what is the minimum height, what is the average age, what is the maximum height, what is the maximum weight, what is the minimum weight, what is the average weight. So what type of people are these, what group they belong to. So these many kind of informations that you can draw from a raw data of 10 people. So all these fields are useful, and then like how you get this average, how you get this min, max. These are all statistics, and these are all mathematics that we apply, which will help to build algorithms in machine learning or in deep learning. Okay, so now with respect to the analytics, this is a graph that I have taken from 2016 to 2018. It was like there are n number of data science jobs, but no one knows what is data science, and no one knows how to do it. The jobs are higher, but the people are less. Still, the market is like that. Like there are n number of places where people need machine learning people to automate their processes, their jobs. They want people need like the companies need people to create chatbots for them, create a chatbot for their policies so that a user can understand their policies instead of pinging them and asking what is the policy, what, how can you do this. Like if a bot can answer all these things, the job is been easier for HR or the companies, everything. So even with respect to 2025, 2024, 2025, the revenue that in AI can generate is close to 20 to 25 billion dollars. Because I'll just tell you a simple example, guys. Let's say you go to a hospital, you took a treatment. So now you want it in a US, it's purely insurance form. So let's say I actually worked on a healthcare domain, so I'm taking an example from that. So let's say uh, you have submitted a claim to take the money from the insurer. So what you will do, you have a proper page with all the fields written, be it an electronically typed or a handwritten, be it anything. It will tell you who which treatment did you go for, whose doctor treated. So all these things. So the insurer will take your claim and he will give it to his employee. So the employee checks all your things and they will process your amount. Okay, this is the case. So now, what if you automate, let's say, for a person to do this job, the one that I just said, like go through your documents, approve it, and then give your money, give money to you. He takes, let's say, $8 to $9 per one claim. $8 to $9 per one claim he has taken. Now with data science and machine learning, what if you automate this complete process and say whenever you get a claim, whenever you get a claim, you take all the data from it, and then you with the previous data you run your machine learning algorithm and then say whether this claim is an accept or reject. So when your data science model gives you a decision of accepting, then you go ahead and you pay the money. Now you're saving $9 to a company per one claim. If your automation rate is increasing, the company that has to pay to the persons is reducing. So the revenue for the company is increasing because the outgoing is stopping, right? $9 per claim, it is stopping. And your machine, like you spend some $20 to build a model, and the $20 is saving you almost close to 1 to 2 lakh every day. See the beauty. That's how a data science or a machine learning model or a chat GPT model can give you $1 billion, can generate a revenue, can if they automate all the tasks, it's super. So the major skills that are required for you guys is with respect to data science. As I said, mathematics is the main key. Statistics, I mean, obviously it comes under max again, and then domain expertise. It comes with the domain that you go in. It's but that holds a major part because with the domain expertise only you can build insights from the data so that you can teach your machine to think in that way. And obviously some programming language, be it a Python, Python for data science and machine learning, this data science, data pre-processing, how we can extract the data from different websites, data mining. So all the skills that you must acquire to become a real world data scientist. Trust me guys, trust me on this. This is how uh, it works. Whenever you go to an interview tomorrow, if you take any interview, be it a Java developer, be it a DevOps, they will ask you like what you could have done in this situation, what you could have done, explain me the process. But the data science interviews are not like that. They'll ask you about what is the approach that you take to teach the machine, why you have selected this algorithm, why not that other algorithm, why you have not gone for deep learning, why you have stipulated your task with machine learning, what is the mathematical approach that you have taken to perform this task. So these are the types of challenging interview questions that you get. So this is how a data science life cycle looks like. So first, you can start at any point. See, first you have to understand the business understanding, what you have to solve, and then once you get to know what you have to solve, then you'll know what type of data you need. Then that there comes your data collection. Okay, if it is in SQL, like how you connect to the SQL database and then get the data, or if it is in a website, how do you extract the data? So everything. So once you get your data, you have to prepare the data. There is lots and lots of noise. There is lots and lots of null values, blank values. There is data is totally corrupted, but you have to prepare the data by cleaning the data, by replacing the values, by adding meaningful features. There is lot of things that you can do and then prepare the data. Once the data is prepared, exploratory data analysis. So explore the data by putting the data in a graphs, in a dashboard. Just you have to be in such a way that by seeing the graph you have to tell a story with the data. You have to draw a own story with the data, like let's say, okay, the sales are increasing year by year, and in one department it is being reducing. So these type of exploratory data analysis you have to do, and once it is done, you'll get to know what are your input variables and what is one thing that you wanted to predict. The one thing that you wanted to predict, you call it as a target label, and what and all you have, these are all input variables. These are all input variables, and this is your target label. So now you do the modeling. I mean, you train your models, be it any model, and then once it is done, you have to evaluate your model, and then you deploy your model. So once you deploy your model, tomorrow, after like 1 month or 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, your model is doing well, but suddenly it stops doing because there is change in your input data trend, or there is change in the business rules, something. So now you have to repeat the complete cycle again. That is why this arrow mark never ever ends in the data science life cycle. So that's the beauty of this. It's a continuous evaluation process that you have to do each and every time. So this is what I want you guys, like, you have to work hard. Let's not fool ourselves by thinking that we can get through this course with a minimal effort. This is so not true. We should keep 15 to 20 hours per week apart from the class. Like, I can teach only 2 hours a day. Like, if you like, after this webinars, like, there is a batch starting. So I can teach 2 hours a day, but you have to go through this 2 hours class and then solve each and everything that I'm giving in the class. Then only you will adapt yourself to the course. See, each of us have a different strategies in learning. Like, let's say, for some people they'll just learn the concepts and then they'll leave it, or sometimes some people they'll go with the flow. Like, there are things, but trust me, to learn something or to achieve something, the one thing that you require most is patience and hard work. There is lot of hurdles that you can get, but with the patience and whatever it may come, you have to sit and finish. With that mindset only, you can achieve and you can become a real data scientist. So this is what I wanted to tell you about, like, the ML, the data science. This is just a demo class, and whatever I just said, there is deep diver in the regular classes that we are going to start after this 4 week webinar. But trust me, this is how the real world applications or the machine learning things look like. Okay, so with this, I'll just take 5 minutes, and then I just want to know if any questions that you have, uh, because for the next 1 hour, I'm going to tell you guys, like, basics of Python and basics of Python modules that help uh, uh, to build data science. I just want uh, to start that. Before I start that, I just want to take a pause and ask any questions. That if you have any questions or something, just unmute yourself and you can ask me. Someone is asking, are you providing internship certificate for it? I think Kalki, you're the right one to answer that.
Yes, after completions of or joining of this internship program, you will get a certificate that where it's mentioned that internship attending certificate, and if you complete the training, you will get the training completion certificate.
Yeah. So any questions, guys, related to the data science, machine learning, the real world applications, anything?
One more thing I would like to
Um,
tell. Yeah, please go ahead. I will tell
so
that
do
thing
we
later.
have to learn Python now?
Sorry, can you come again?
Do we have to learn Python coding?
Yes, you have to learn Python coding, because see, you want to build data science applications, and you should be knowing any one language, like you any one language like Python, Scala, um, or Java. But Python is the most easiest language to learn and a very fast one to learn. And regarding reinforcement learning, yeah, that that will come, like supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. But with respect to the scope of this course, we have limited to only supervised and unsupervised. Yeah, but in the training sessions, we will cover reinforcement learning too. Because again, as I said, no, reinforcement learning is something that came in the recent years as an evaluation of the thing. So
Now here we need to also understand this total 4 weeks, like 4 weekend session, we have only 8 hours. So our and in 8 hours we need to complete a whole domain. So we cannot go deep. Then we have chosen the vast amount of knowledge or areas we can cover. But our main training, where we have like a 60 hours live session, followed by hands-on live session, live project practice, where we do have a lots and lots of scope where we can deep dive on more data science related tools and technologies.
Um, my other question is, I know you have a class for Python. Will this class be enough to learn Python, or we have to go learn Python first?
No, I think
No,
our deep data science class itself has a Python module.
the
Okay.
first we start with Python, and then we go with 1 week will completely dedicate to Python and Python for data science, and second week will completely dedicate for statistics, and third and fourth week we'll have machine learning and deep learning, and fifth week we have NLP, natural language processing, and sixth week you'll have your chat GPT LLM development of those. So it's a total 6 weeks course. Okay, so I think no more questions. So let me just take you guys to the basics of Python. I'll just let me just share my screen. Yeah. So what is Python? Python, it's a basic uh, language, programming language, very easy to learn, trust me on this. So yeah, so it's a Python is like something, it's a popular high level programming language like used in various applications, like you can use Python for full stack development, you can use Python for cyber security, blockchain, you can use Python for building different data science models, deep learning concepts, all these things you can achieve with Python. And trust me, it's easy language to learn, because if you see in 1 second. Okay, 1 second guys, I think there is something wrong. Yeah, sorry, sorry for the delay. 1 second, there is some which I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, if you see in, let's say, in C language or in a Java language, I have to write something like hash include stdio dot h, and then you have to write open brackets, close brackets, and then print hello world. So close to 5 lines you have to write in C, and close to 7 lines you have to write in Java. But whereas in Python, it's just you have to write all you need to is like just say print hello world, just one line of code. Just this one line of code will replace your 5 lines or 7 lines of the different other languages. So that's the beauty of Python. And this can be used for simple tasks like, let's say, plotting, like in terms of exploratory data analysis, or let's say for complex tasks to build models. So this machine learning, everything, the base itself is Python, and you have to be master at Python. And don't worry, we are here to help. We can make you a master of Python. So let's say there are some common data types and operators. See, data type is nothing but it's just how to store a value, or let's say for each, like for number, for decimal, for a string. So there are different types of data types. See, data types. So for each data, there is a type, what type it is. So how will Python understand? Because of the type, Python understands what data is inside it. So that is how that is, that's what it means data type is, because it data type is nothing but it's classifying a value and determining what operations can be performed on it. Like let's say all objects have a data type and all. So now if you see bool means boolean value, it's zero or one. Integer means like 1 2 3 4 5 and so on. Float means 1.2 2.3 with decimal values. List means it has square brackets and inside that you have any numbers, and tuple is with closed brackets. I will tell you each and everything, why we need list, why we need tuple. You have to what is a string, and set, dictionary. So these are all the data types that Python supports. And if you see there is a for operators, like you have mathematical operator like plus minus, division, floor division, and then you have greater than, you have less than, you have greater than or equal to, you have less than or equal to. So these are all the operators, like how we compare, no. So with Python we can do all these things in the coding itself. I have attached some YouTube link, you can go through this later to understand mainly. So these are the common data types and operators. Like in operators also you have many things like logical operators, or and equal to, not equal to, and then and or. These are all the basic operators, like you guys must be knowing all this. And in data types also, like with respect to um, each programming language, you have a set of rules to define each parameter. Let's say in Java, you have to say int a equal to, or in C, you have to say first int a declare and then a equal to. But in Python, you just say a equal to 4. By default, a will be taken as an integer data type. You no need to mention what data type a variable is. By assigning the value, Python will understand, okay, this is this data type. So that's the beauty of Python, and it's so easy to learn. So easy, guys. It's like just our simple English. You'll get to know why I'm saying it's Python is a simple English. See, if I want to print hello world, I'm just saying print hello world. That is what I'm writing. Print hello world, and it is printing me. And let's say um, if I wanted to take a number from user, let's say I'm just saying input, enter a number. I'm saying input, enter a number. It is asking me. Simple English. No need to worry. And if I want, okay, print this line, print and this line. See, I'm just saying print. Whatever I'm saying, I'm writing in the code. See, I'm saying print and then it is here. And I'm input, enter a number. So I input, enter a number. Whatever I want, I'm just writing it in the coding. It is doing the same operation. So that's the beauty with Python. So there are some syntax rules when you follow coding standards, or like when you follow a project organization structures. So most of the times when you specify a variable which is before this equal to, it has to be in a camel case. So most of the variable names, right, they are in camel case, like where the first word begins with the lowercase and any subsequent words they'll do with capital letters. So and sometimes variable names may also appear in snake case, like where all words are in lowercase and underscores, like let's say uh, my underscore int, this is also a variable, or my int, like everything in small, everything in capital, everything with underscore. So there are different rules, but based on the structure, based on the coding standards that your organization is following, you can make use of those. But trust me, anything will work. You give capital, you give small, you give camel case, you give snake case. It doesn't matter to Python. It just understands, okay, this is of this data type. Okay. Is somebody speaking? Somebody wants to ask any question? Uh, Okay, fine. So now, what is a function? So function Again, function. It's again I'm saying it's simple English. So I wanted to add two numbers. So what I'm asking. So let's say I am here, guys. Let's say I'm at a point A. Okay, I wanted to add two numbers A comma B. Now I reach to a point C where I have to add two numbers D comma E. So here I'm coming, I'm just doing A plus B. Here I'm coming, I'm just doing D plus C. D plus C. But what if I write something like uh, what if I write something like let's say um, what if I write something like let's say add P comma Q and then P plus Q. So if instead of adding every time, I have defined a function which add two numbers. So wherever I am, I'm just calling this function. I came to see, I'm just calling this function. So with this approach, what? See what we have achieved? We have reduced the lines of codes and we have kept it in one place. And wherever you go, you're just calling that because here also you're doing the same operation. Here also you're doing the same operation. Tomorrow you'll go to some place and do the same operation. Instead, you keep this at one place and wherever you go, you just call this. It will give you the answer. See, return A plus B. So each and every function, it has a return. That's it. That's the basic syntax of function. So now, how do you call a function? As I said, no, see, for add 1 comma 2, add 1 comma 2, like I just told here, add P comma Q, add A comma B, add D comma E. So you're calling the function. See, calling a function and then defining a function, calling a function, defining a function, and returning the value. Returning the value. These are the three major steps that you can do. See, this is how you just call this function 1 comma 2 and then it goes, it adds 1 plus 2, it gives you 3. So now my value will have a value. My value is equal to 3. 3 is being stored inside this variable, which is a data type of integer. So with respect to this, there are different things like variables, objects, classes. See, just understand these differences. I'll just tell you. A variable is reference to a value stored in a computer memory. Like I just told you, know, like let's say a equal to 3. So this is a variable. So it is stored inside a computer memory. There's a computer memory. You have different things. So this 3 will be stored somewhere here, and this is the address of it. So variables can be stored in variety of categories like or data types. Like let's say this is an integer or float, and tomorrow it's a boolean, maybe true or false, or strings or lists or beat anything. So this is a variable. And object is nothing but it's a collection of data from a computer's memory that can be manipulated. I mean, you can change this data. Every variable is an object, so you can change a equal to 3 here you have given, and in the downline you have written a equal to 4. So when you say print of a, it gives you 4 because you have updated it, you have changed it. So the object is something, it's the collection of data, like you have this all data where you can change it. And methods are something, methods means it's the methods are the functions used to act on these objects. Like mm, when I say methods are the functions that uses these variables to perform tasks. I mean, like what they can do, like what my variable can do, what my object can do. So just understand the slight difference, guys. Variable, it's just stores the data. Object, it can store, it can change anything. Method, it makes use of variable or an object and perform some task and give you another thing. That's it. So class is nothing but it's the collection of objects. So now let's say if you see you have a car, I have a car here. If you see this is a car. So now This is a car. This is a class. So now, see this Polo, Mini, Beetle, Benz, Audi. These are all cars. So see, Benz is a car. So car is the parent class. Benz is the product. Child, child. Understand? So now, see, but what is the difference? See the color, the name, color name. They changes with respect to each child class. The instances changes because their properties change, but ultimately the engine, the structure, everything it defines as a car. See, that is why car is a collection of objects who share the same set of variables or methods. That's it. Same set of variables or methods, but the methods can change, but the variables can change, but the body cannot change, the steering cannot change, the brakes cannot change, the tires cannot change. So instances they may share some of these, but there will be some differences. That is where class comes into picture, like keeping all these similar type of objects into one box, you call that box is a class. That's it. And if else statements, if else statements is again, see, I wanted to know, again simple English, I wanted to know, let's say, uh, I wanted to take a number and I wanted to check if that is greater than 2 or not. So I'm just see the beauty, see the beauty. I'm asking input enter number. If my if my x is percent, okay, let me write here. If x is greater than 2, if it is correct, then this I'm saying it's a greater than 2. Elif, if x is less than 2, it's less than. Else, this is not a number at all. So you're just checking. See, I wanted to know if my 2 is if my number is greater than 2 or less than 2, or if it's a 0. So just use if a statement. If my x is 2, just let me know. If my x is greater than 2, let me know it is greater than. If my x is less than 2, just let me know x is less than 2. If it is 0, then just tell me it's 0. So here most importantly the operators. See, equal to is for equal to, not equal to means if x not equal to 2 means it's if it x is not equal to 2, then only it will enter inside. This is the beauty, guys. If your if statement is working, if this statement whatever you write next to if this is true, then only it will come inside the loop. Otherwise it will go to elif. It will check whether this condition is true or not. If this condition is true, then only it will enter inside. If this is also false, then it will come to else, and it will print whatever it is there in the else. Else is like the last block. Else is like a last block. Let's say if the statement is matching this, it entered into this. That's it. The code ends here. It will not go to elif or else. The code will say this is an even number, and the program ends there. It will not come back and then check for elif or else. No, it won't do that. But if the first if condition is not matching, then only it will come to second elif. If that is also not matching, then it will go to third elif. And then if that is also not matching, then finally it will come to else. If the first statement itself is matching, the rest of the program won't work. That's the beauty of if else statements. And for loops, it's just extinction of if else. Like let's say if I wanted to see in a list of numbers, or if I wanted to know the ordering of ticket numbers, like let's say, okay, this is my first ticket number, this is my second ticket number, third, fourth. So for loop is something it iterates through each and everything. Like let's say this is a list. So when I say for loop, first it will come here, it will give you the answer. Next it will come here, it will give you the answer. Next it will come here, it will give you the answer. Next it will come here, it will give you the answer. See now, for x in range 0 comma 5 to 1, print my length. So 0 to 5 means the numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. There won't be any 5 because in the range function whatever we see after the comma, you just have to do -1 to that, and then it'll be only for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. uh, in the sessions I'll teach you in deeper, like why is this, why is that not. One means increment of 1, so starts with 0, ends at 5 with an increment of 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now what will happen, my print will come like first it will come 0, next it will come 1, next it will come 2, next it will come 3, and next it will come 4. This is how your for loop prints. So for at each step, you can do whatever you want. So this iteration of each steps and giving access to each step is nothing but for loop. Is nothing but for loop. For loop. It cannot stop at one line. Let's say for I in like in if else condition, if the first if is working, it will not go to others. But in for loop, it will go till the end. Like if you have 100 rows, it will go to all the 100 rows. That is why we call it as a loop. Loop, the basic loop. So now while loop, see the difference between for loop and while loop is, for loop is nothing but whatever the range that you have given here, it starts from that and ends still there. Whereas while loop is something, it will first check for the condition. If this condition is matching, then only it will come inside, then it will run continuously. It will run continuously till this statement becomes false. See now, here my x is 0. My x is 0. Now what I'm saying, print while x less than 5, while x less than 5, print mylint x equal to x plus 1. So my x is 0. So see, if you see here, if you see here 0 is less than 5. So it came inside. It came inside. Print mylint. So mylint number, let's say 3. Let's say 3 or something. So now it prints 3 and then x equal to x plus 1. Now my x becomes 1. Understand this case. Here my x is 0. My x is 0 here. So while x is less than 5, that means my 0 is less than 5, which is true. So that is why it came inside. And then here it is incrementing. Now my x became 1. Again it goes here. Now it will check 1 is less than 5, which is true. Again it will come inside. It will print mylint. Again the x is incremented. 1 plus 1, x becomes 2. Again it go back. 2 less than 5. Still it is correct. Then come here. It will print mylint. Now my x became 3. Now 3 is less than 5. Still matching. So again 3. My x became 4. Now 4 is less than 5. Still it's working. My print mylint. And again x incremented equal to 5. Now 5 less than 5, which is false. Which is false. So it won't go into while loop and it stops there. This is how the while loop works. It loops if and only if the statement is matching every time. Whereas for loop is it'll just executes based on the loop that it has. Okay, so in between, if you wanted to break at any point, just write break. Break will stop your code at any point. Continue. Continue something even if you get error or if you don't know what to do, just say continue. It will do the loop again. So these are some of the basic concepts, guys. If loop, while loop, for loop, and then functions, and then basic operators. So these are some things which I can tell the basics of Python. So
Excuse me, on that previous slide, where were you constantly writing 3?
okay, sorry, just saying. So here, if you see why I'm writing this 3 constantly. Oops, 1 second. Yeah. So if you see here, I have print mylint. My int, no, this my int, I assumed it as 3. That's it. It is asking me to enter a number. I just entered 3. So every time, every time when it says prints my int, I am printing 3. That's it. My int, I have initialized it
Okay,
as
so
3.
you declared
Yeah,
the int to be
yeah,
3.
yeah.
Okay.
So so till this loop closes, my 3 will be constantly printing. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So this is just a basics of Python, guys. Basic understanding, basic gist of Python. But trust me, there is a lot more to learn in Python. Like, why do we use lists? Why do we dictionary strings? There is lots and lots of beautiful concepts that are there in Python. Just be with us. We will teach you all those concepts. So next I'll
I
be,
have a question. Sorry.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
where does security come in AI?
Very good question. So security part, see, um, it's again the data security. So whenever, let's say, if you're building a model, so you cannot use your personal information, names, what is your gender, what's your color. So there are some ethics of machine learning. There is a part where ethics and understanding of machine learning, where you don't have to use these as a part of your training data, or you don't have to use as a part of this modeling or anything. So, and your model is secure in such a way that you have to train your model in such a way that it should not be giving fake decisions or uninterrupted decisions, because your model cannot overfit or underfit with the false data. So there are some precautions that you have to take to make sure your data is secure and your model gives you correct answers. Hope I have answered your question.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So now let me just um, yeah, let me just show you the last concept. Just, I mean, the way how I gave a glimpse of Python, I'll just tell you what are there in Python. After you learn Python of all these basics, understandings, everything, you have to learn mainly 4 different modules, which are the base modules to write code for the data science or machine learning, everything. So just sharing my screen again. So this is the concept, like where Python for data analysis. Yeah. So now see, these are the main things. Like there are some Python libraries for data scientists, for reading the data, for selecting and filtering, for data manipulation, for sorting, for grouping, for rearranging. So these are all the data pre-processing that I have told you in the data science life cycle. And then next comes the plotting of data, which is EDA, exploratory data analysis. Even I have shown this in the data science lifecycle. And then the descriptive statistics, inferential statistics. These are some of the things that we have to do on a particular data to achieve insights, so that will help us to build a beautiful model. So now these are the main libraries for me. These are the main core libraries for data science. Let's say NumPy, SciPy, Pandas, Scikit-learn. So Scikit-learn is something where all the machine learning algorithms are there, and NumPy is purely for NumPy is nothing but numerical Python. All the statistics approaches, everything you can do using this. And whereas SciPy, it's basically a scientific Python where you can apply some inferential statistics or those things. Pandas is something you deal with data frames, all those. So visualization libraries for EDA, there is Matplotlib, there is Seaborn, and there are many more things, but these are the main core. These are the main core. For chat GPTs, you have to use LangChain. For deep learnings, you have to use TensorFlow, Keras. There are a lot of libraries that you have to learn as a part of your data science course. So as I said, NumPy, it's nothing but it mainly deals with arrays, matrices, and as well as mathematical and statistical operations. And see, I told you, right? Um, at the end of the day, your machine understands 0 and 1. That's it. It cannot understand anything. It cannot understand data, science, name, A, B, C, D, nothing. It only understands numbers. So whatever you do in the front end, the coding, everything, it ultimately converts it into zero and ones only. That's the beauty part. So now, SciPy is nothing but it's again like linear algebra. Like there are some equations that we have to draw. Let's say, see, this is a graph and this is the line, which is y is equal to mx plus c. So this is a straight line. So now tomorrow you plot your data. This is your circle data. You have your data. So now you have to draw a line which should separate the 0 points and 1 points correctly. So you have to draw this line using a machine learning algorithm so that you're predicting all the zeros this side and all the ones this side. So this kind of mathematical derivations, this kind of things that we do using this SciPy. Pandas, it's again in SQL you have this no, like you have this data, uh, rows and columns, rows and columns, and you have your Excel data, CSV data, everything. Like you can do in Excel, you can do many operations, no grouping, where conditions, and then filtering of data, rearranging, sorting, all the operations that can be done using Pandas. Pandas is purely for data frames. Like you can do slide whatever the operation that you do in Excel, you can do all those operations in an easy way in Python. Just see you have to write lot of formulas right in Excel to perform something. In Pandas it's just a Python code, one line of code. All you have to do is like just pd dot read underscore Excel will load your complete Excel into a Python Jupyter notebook, and then it will do all the operations that we can do, just like just a normal coding part we have to write. Scikit-learn. So scikit-learn, it's something, it gives you machine learning algorithms. See, in machine learning, there are a lot of algorithms. Like I told you, right? In supervised, you have classification and regression. And in regression, you have something called linear regression. In classification, you have logistic regression and decision trees, random forest, and then bagging, boosting, and then support vector machines. So there are many things. So these all algorithms are there in the scikit-learn. So all you have to do is like from sklearn import random forest classifier, and then random forest classifier dot fit. Just two lines of code. But the background of this is what the major part lies in. And and if you see in the life cycle, I told model building scikit-learn uses, and the next is model evaluation. Model evaluation that also scikit-learn has, like from uh, scale from sklearn dot metrics. From sklearn dot metrics, import all the evaluation matrices, and then you can evaluate your model based on those. And matplotlib, see I told like you have to plot the data, you have to plot your data to tell, like see you're a developer. Okay, you're a developer, you understand how the data is looking like. But when you go to a business guy who doesn't know data science anything, he's your manager or he's some client or someone, he wanted to understand just the business, not the background part. See, you have to see your audience right when you are presenting. So uh, you have to tell them in such a way that okay, see, based because of this the revenue is increasing, because of this the revenue is decreasing. You have to tell them a story using graphs. So those graphs can be done using this matplotlib. Okay, and cbon is also a part of matplotlib. Similarly, like you can do all the plottings, and there are different types of plottings because based on different types of variables. So there are these many type of variables, and each variable based on the situation, there are types of graphs that you have to pick. So this kind of things that we can achieve using matplotlib and cbon. Pandas is for all the Excel data, NumPy is for all Macs, Matplotlib and cbon are for visualization, and scikit-learn is for model building and model evaluation. And you have to see Python versions, like let's say B 3.6, 3.8, 3.10. Now currently it's 3.11. So you can pick any version based on the project structure and all those things. So with this, that's the whole gist that I wanted to tell you guys. Uh, the main course of data science, machine learning, and deep learning, the basic crunch that I just told you guys, like what you need, what you require to become a real world data scientist, what you have to master it. So these are the main things that you have to master to become a real world data scientist and crack the jobs. Trust me, guys, no one will take you out if you are a data science or an AI engineer. See, you must have been seen layoffs in different organizations in different companies, but you never heard saying a data science team is being laid off, a data science team is being removed, or like these many data scientists are being revealed from the company. So you have never heard of this news. Even I never heard in my close to 8 years of experience. I'm sure with this. So, yeah, this is what I wanted to convey. Pretty much it. So, any questions, anything? I'm open to you guys. So, Kalki, Devashish, the other team people, just let me know.
Tanmay, fantastic. I'm really, it was a very interesting, very engrossing session. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Just one
thank.
question is like, yeah, yeah, thank you for that. Uh, One question is like, as you told that you need to have a good mathematical background. I
Yes.
mean, a good understanding of mathematics will help to
Yeah.
be a data scientist. So, as well as you need to have a programming background. If not, of course, you are there, you would be able to guide us and make us a pro in programming. So that's I leave it on you. But the main hurdle is to have a mathematical background. Now, not many people are I we have many students who come from different background, maybe from different domain. Okay. And basically you being a mentor, given that background that maybe not many, say out of 10, you may have hardly two or three people good in mathematical background, but maybe the seven guys that has also come to you to get that help to learn to be a data scientist or to learn AI. So what are the chances of them to finally end up being a good scientist without having a very good mathematical background or statistical, know-how?
Just join the course. That's it. See, the course is being designed in such a way that even a plus two guy, because see, the way we are teaching is something we teach Python programming in thinking of in a mind that no student knows anything. Even with respect to mathematics, I am teaching the mathematics or the statistic part from starting with what type of numbers we have. So how many
Okay.
types of numbers we have, and each type of numbers, what they will do, how they will look like, and what they can do. From that aspect, I am teaching. So,
Oh,
so
that is
with
very reassuring to learn that I may or may not have a good mathematical. That's very reassuring. Thank you, Tanmay.
yeah, yeah. So no need of any background, mathematical background or anything, because I'm teaching it from the scratch, from the um, basics. From the basics, I'm teaching.
Okay. And
Yeah.
practically, I mean, honestly, uh, do such candidates, yeah, they have put in 100% of their effort, even more than 100%, and you have given 100% to let them. But do they stand any chance in this competitive, job market? With, the inherent thing is that they are not having a big base in mathematics.
See,
Do they stand a
definitely.
chance?
Yes, they will. See, if they complete this course with proper understanding and training, so they'll be able to get to know what is what. So
Okay.
tomorrow when they go for the interview, and then they'll ask these basic questions only, because with the fresher or with the experience of 1 to 2 years or 3 to 4 years, you should be good at answering the basics.
Okay.
The basics are the ones that I am purely concentrating at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
also believe that if the fundamentals are clear or
yeah.
you have a good foundation, then you can fight it out.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Thank you, Tan.
Yeah. So I hope it's an interactive session. Thank you guys for
So,
joining. Yeah.
Tanmay, this
Yeah.
is Menon.
Yeah.
So,
Man.
thank you for this awesome session, and we are really, really happy to know this stuff. And you have also unveiled some new, you know, direction, mostly for me as well as some of our new joiners or freshers. I think this session was really helpful for them. So, can you tell me what will be the next weekend session? And so
Yes.
we should be little bit prepare.
Yes. No. Nothing. Just come free-minded. I'll just take you guys through a bumping ride on how like what is machine learning, like I just told you, know, like what are supervised learning, what are unsupervised learning, and inside that how many models are there, and what model does what, and how deep learning concepts, like I'll just show you a real world applications and some case studies. So I'll take you guys to this deep dive into the machine learning and deep learning, which are subparts of this AI.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, anyone have any question? I saw a few students join very late. Unfortunately, we are at the very end of our session. So, anyone have? We are at the very end of our today's session. So, anyone have the last minute question? Please feel free to ask.
You have the recording, the last minute guys. You have the recording. Just go through that and join on time for the next session. I think someone kept the message in the group. When will be our next session? Same time next Saturday. Right, right. Time?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
same time Saturday. Same time next Saturday, 6 p.m. IST, and then the other each time zone is different, but it's the same 2 hours next Saturday.
I have a question. Do we need to install any kind of tools for the upcoming class?
No, nothing. Just because since it's a webinar, I'm not going to make you guys work or learn or anything. It's just an internship. Like I'll just make you understand what is what and what can you learn, and then by learning what you'll achieve what. So this is the main agenda for this 4 weeks of course, and different concepts. But surely after this we'll be starting an end-to-end full batch classes. In that I'll guide you like what to install and how do you do practice everything in that. I'll do that.
So, one more quick heads up. We have another session after 30 minutes for DevOps. Today, we are going to start our cloud part. So, those already registered for those part webinar or internship program, they know, but those are very new. Please, it's just a heads up. Okay, if you want, you just join.